I'm really excited, guys, to let you know that I'm now sponsored by Boss Boxes. It's a great site. You guys can go ahead and get all your gamer needs. All you have to do is go to the website, pick what you want, go ahead and add it to your cart. And once you get to your cart, guys, when you get to checkout, you can pay with Apple Pay, PayPal. Go ahead and check out and throw that discount code in there. Go ahead and throw in RyeBread, and you guys will get 10% off your purchase. It's really great. It's a really awesome site. Really, guys, it got some really cool stuff, so I really recommend you guys go ahead and check that out. I'm really happy to be sponsored by them, and I hope you guys enjoy their stuff.
How's it going, everybody? RyeBread here today, and we are back with our Nashville Predators GM mode, and we are ready for the second round of the playoffs after handling last year's team that kicked us out of the Western Conference Finals, the San Jose Sharks, and now we are on to face our division but you know, they've got a great defense, and obviously they have Vladimir Tarasenko, who's always a dominant force within their team. So let's go ahead and edit their lines in strategy. Edit our lines in strategy. You guys should know what our lines are by now. If you guys don't, here they are. Again, we have Forsberg, Johansson, and Neal, Turris, Fiala, and Arvidsson, Pajot, Raquel, Smith, and then Salamaki, Sissons, Perron, which is a pretty dominant fourth line in my opinion. They've been actually really good, believe it or not. You know, I know they've only got a couple points, but we only played it in 5 games, and I was not supposed to hit the B button there. So let's go ahead and check out what our opponent, the St. Louis Blues, is looking like, because apparently their offense is better than their defense. We took Jay Bomeister from them too, so we don't have to worry about him, but oh my god, Vladimir Tarasenko is amazing, boys. Good god. He had 3 points in the playoffs. He had 98 points in the regular season. 3 points in 5 games. That's not too bad, but it's, you know, not what you'd expect a #1 guy to be. Jaden Schwartz and Paul Stastny. So 2 snipers on that first line. But then on the second line, they have Fabry, Barbashev, and Yakupov. So rocking that. Wow, they're going to take a lot of shots, boys, which is going to scare me. But as long as we get more goals in than they do, we'll be fine. Sabatka, Yuri Laterra, and Zach Sanford. When was this guy drafted? He was drafted in 2013 in the second round by the Capitals, so he's an actual player. I didn't know if he was an actual player or whether they actually drafted him or not. And then their fourth line is Ty Ratty, another sniper. Good God. Glenn Gaudin and Patrick Berglund. So not the greatest fourth line. I think our fourth line's better, but it's a fourth line again, boys. It's not something you need to brag about a ton. So let's go ahead and check out what their defense is looking like as well. They have Colton Parayko, the high top 4 defenseman, but it looks like he's pretty much capped at an 86. Not bad there, but then their fourth pairing has Vince Dunn, who's an offensive defenseman, only 81 though, and then Jordan Schmaltz, who's you know, a very good top 6 defender. He's about as bad as you can get for a top 6, or as good as you can get for a top 6 without becoming a top 4. You know, 84 I think is that limit, and when they become an 85, they start wanting more minutes. So that's actually perfect for them. But in goal, is it going to be the turning point? It could be with Evan Fitzpatrick and Jake Allen, medium starter potential at 22. He's already 86. How did he do during the regular season? Good God, he's killing it in the playoffs. Not too bad here, playing on the NHL squad in the regular season. But God, look at his 954 save percentage and a 128 goal against average. I don't even know if John Gibson has those kind of numbers. Oh, no, yeah, no. He's got those kind of numbers. I thought for sure he would have better numbers than that, but I forgot just how dominant it was. Let's see if he can continue his dominance. Now, our team may not have the studs that St. Louis does, but we certainly have the depth necessary. All 4 of our lines are capable of producing, boys, and scoring, and our defensemen are certainly good enough to shut down most offensive pairings. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into game #1 in the second round. I'm actually nervous, boys. That's why I'm slipping up here with my speech. I really want to make it back to the Western Conference Finals, and I really want to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, so I'm nervous to see how the simulation treats me. But let's go. First period. And all right, we're going to see, that's what I mean, boys. Our fourth line, it's pretty good. David Perron scores. Jordan Schmaltz, but Kevin Fiala answers. Good Lord. Okay, so what? 21 shots to their 4. Did they take a ton of penalties or something? They only had 2 minor penalties in the entire period, but I guess we just must be putting on the shots. Good God. All right. 2-1 Nashville as we enter the second period. Can we keep the lead after the second period? And we do. Kyle Turris there, boys, the second line center that I signed for, I think, $7 million a season. So he is paying off, and 32 shots to 12. We are killing it here. All right, the shots don't matter. The only thing that matters is the goals. Like I said, oh my God. That's Evan Fitzpatrick, right? That's the goal. That's the goalie's name. Or am I just pulling that name out of my ass? And Yori Laterra keeps St. Louis in the game. They're only down by 1 with 6 minutes left to go. Come on, Gibson. I need you to step up. Shut the door. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. Philip Forsberg nets the empty netter, and we're going to get out of the first game with a win. But damn, 46 shots to their 21. We doubled them in shots, and we doubled them on the scoreboard, which is the only statistical category that really matters. But let's go ahead and check out, was anyone a minus player? Nope, nobody was a minus player. We got some plus players. Fiala looks like he had 2 points as well as Turris. They both had a golden assist. That line actually stepped it up. They usually don't do too well, but that line last time. But yeah, Gibson didn't have a bad time there, but certainly he was out-dueled by Evan Fitzpatrick, although, yeah, Evan Fitzpatrick had 45, yeah, he had a good game. 45 shots, and he only let in 3 goals, I mean, because one of them was an empty netter. So that was a good game from him. Hopefully, John Gibson's able to get back to his form from the end of last series. But hey, if he only lets in 2 goals a game, I am okay with that. And if we can score 4 per game, that's going to be fantastic. That's going to bode very well for us. There's nobody in the rest of the world, so let's keep scouting elsewhere. Here we go. That is done. This doesn't matter. Defenseman in the ELH. Sure. I did a more systematical approach to everything. I am now scouting it for less time just so I can kind of gauge what the player is and what they're going to be. But let's go ahead and get in game number 2. Enough about my scouting strategy. We are in the playoffs. So let's go ahead and get into game number 2's first period, boys. We're going to have as good of a first period as last time. Let's find out. We are not. We are down 2-1 this time, but we are still out shooting them. Barbashev and Gaudin. I think Gaudin's on their second or third line, and Barbashev is on the second or third line as well. So that middle 6 for them. And Victor Arvidsson scores for us, keeping us in this game. Can we bounce back and have a better second period? We don't. It is still 2-1 St. Louis. The question is, can now Nashville tie this one up? And shorthanded, yeah, Laterra scores, but Jesus, just after Ryan Ellis scores as well, it's still a 1-goal game. But Philip Forsberg ties up the game for your Nashville Predators. We got another power play here, boys, but we are unable to capitalize. And here's another power play. We're unable to capitalize on that one either. Okay, so we got 5 minutes left in the period. 4.5, 3.5, 2.5, 1.5, 30 seconds, and that's it for this for regulation anyway. It's 3-3. Nashville had 41 shots to St. Louis's 20. Can Fitzpatrick hold up, and can Nashville find a way to win? Oh, St. Louis on the power play. They get another power play. Are they going to capitalize on it? It's a long one too, and they are unable to capitalize on their power play. And David Perron, that 4th line, boys, I dissed it. David Perron's pissed that I dissed the 4th line, saying that the 4th line isn't really going to be a needle mover, but that one was, as he nets the winning goal as we take out St. Louis in overtime in game number 2. And now, is there a minus pairing? It looks like Pajot, Raquel, Smith, that 3rd line. So, okay, no real consistent minus players, which is a good thing to see. Because I don't want our guys to be consistently poor, you know, have minus. Because I've seen that and I've failed to look at the stats enough to go ahead and check out, you know, do we need to make some line changes? But, boys, 94, 93, 93, that's a good team. All right, can we get a commanding 3-0 lead as we head to St. Louis? Let's go ahead and find out. Oh my God, I'm actually nervous and really excited, so that's why my speech isn't as good as it is, or maybe I'm just too dumb to figure out how to speak. But let's go ahead. I know one thing. Let's find out the first period. I can say that well. Fabry scores 1, and Craig Smith on that 3rd line also scores 1. 17 shots for Nashville. Boys, we are putting the shots on. The only reason that St. Louis is in this game is because of their goaltender, Evan Fitzpatrick, who seems to be quite a quality goaltender. Listed as a backup goaltender in the Lions. You know, his role as a backup goaltender, he's their number 1. They're starting him over Jake Allen. That seems to be the good decision. Can we get past him in the second period? We do. We are able to score more goals than St. Louis finally in the period, and is now 2-1 as we head into this 3rd period. It's not a safe lead, though. One shot, St. Louis is back in it. Nashville on the power play, though. But then St. Louis goes on a straight 5-on-3, and now Yakupov scores and ties the game up. I knew that straight 5-on-3 was not going to be good. They had 2 full minutes of 5-on-3, starting with the offensive zone faceoff, but Colton Sissons on that fourth line. That fourth line seems to have really stepped it up. Role players doing their job. 2 minutes, 1 minute, and there we go, boys. That's going to be the end of game number 3 as Nashville gets out of this one with a 3-2 win. All games so far have been super close. Minus that first game where we won by 2 goals. You know, one was an empty netter anyway. The next 2 have been 1-goal games. And then look at that second line again. Maybe I need to move a more defensive forward. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm not going to change any of the lines. I'm just thinking maybe if we get into a little bit of a tricky situation, if, you know, later on in the series, the job done here. We've been playing pretty damn well so far. Let's see if we can keep it going here. Our shots have been off the charts. I wish you could go view the box score after the game and go back and check out the box score, because that would be amazing to see. Just as the shots, I would want to tally the shots in this one. All right, we're on the power play early on. Let's simulate the first period, though. Here we go. Oh, and St. Louis comes out with a bang, outshooting us by 10 and have a 2-1 lead. But again, Kyle Turris, that second line, keeping us in it. We got a lot of depth scoring. Our first line's been kind of quiet. Like I said, James Neal last year was pretty silent when it came to the first, or for every round after the first, because James Neal in that first line produces, just not after the first round, which kind of sucks. All right, will we be able to get more goals? Well, let's just tie it up. That's all I'm asking for, is to tie it up and have a tie game going into period number 3. We need a strong second period here, boys. We got dominated on the shot clock. Is it going to happen again? And it's not going to happen again. We pull closer in shots, but they do end up, well, they keep the lead as Tarasenko extended the lead to 2 under 30 seconds into the period, but Rowan Rossi comes back midway through the period to go ahead and to bring us back to within 1 and keep us within striking distance as we start this third period. Shots are about even, so it's neck and neck, boys. Will we be able to tie this one up and put a little pressure on St. Louis? Are they going to be able to stave off elimination and a sweep halfway through the period? It's still looking like St. Louis, boys. Anything can change, though. It just takes one shot. 5 minutes, 4 minutes go. Come on, somebody please net one for me. 2 minutes, 1 minute, and that's it. So St. Louis is going to take this one 3-2. We do end up out shooting them, but we just don't get enough offense. Only scoring 2 goals by the end of regulation is not going to do it for you. And this time it was Salamaki, Perrant, and Sissons, so that that fourth line actually was a big fat minus there, boys. Not what you want to see. -2 from your bottom line. You know, I was giving them a lot of credit. They were a big reason why we were up 3-0 in the series, but that's okay. Since they helped us build a 3-0 lead, we are now up 3-1 on St. Louis. So let's go ahead and scout a little bit more. Just, Jesus, if I could scout like 3 days, I would, because there's only 2 defensemen in the DEL. All right, so we are back in Nashville. Can we close out this series and advance to the in the tank to go ahead and get back? This is the game to finish shit off on home ice. Let's go, boys. First period. Oh, and it's 0-0. St. Louis outshoots us by 3, though, 12-9, but it's still 0-0, the most important statistical category. 1 shift, 1 period, 1 game at a time. Let's take it, boys. The second period. And okay, so Fabry scores to open the scoring for the game, and then Salamaki comes back. That fourth line again, boys, is stepping up in a big way. 1-1 as we enter this pivotal third period. Will St. Louis get a chance to go back home, or will Nashville go ahead and take the lead and take the series? underrated and undervalued in my own opinion. I undervalued him, and he's stepping up in a big way. 6 minutes, 5 minutes, and now Yakupov pulls St. Louis back close into this game, and Jonas Enroth seems to be in net. Is he going to get it done? And Paul Stastny scores with 19 seconds left on Jonas Enroth. Jonas Enroth has been in net all game long. Or did John Gibson hurt himself earlier on in like the first period? It's 3-3. Come on, Enroth. I believe in you. I signed you for this reason. We needed a serviceable backup. Come on, boys. Just one more goal. We can do it. St. Louis on the power play, and yes! There it is. Ryan Johansson nets the fourth and final goal for the Nashville Predators, and they are on their way back to the Western Conference Finals. God, I'm so excited. I'm not even talking straight here, boys. St. Louis puts up 37 shots on Jonas Enroth, and he stops them all. Oh, my God. Why the hell was Jonas Enroth in net? If I don't get a notification... so Gibson saved 4 shots and then was pulled 5 minutes into the first period. Shout out to Jonas Enroth, 30 saves on 33 shots. He was called on in a big moment and gets the job done, boys, in another close game against St. Louis. We finally we beat a Central Division opponent en route to the Western Conference Finals for back-to-back season. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but yeah, the dominance, the defensive dominance that was shown against the San Jose Sharks was again shown against the St. Louis Blues. A 4-2, a 4-3, a 3-2, a 2-3 loss, and then a 4-3 win. Man, the offense couldn't score more than 4 goals, but the defense and goaltending, boys, was able to get the job done. One slip up here, but we are 8-2 in these playoffs, and we're on our way to the Western Conference Finals yet again. And we are the first team to do it. Ooh, we got a good match out east. We got Toronto versus Buffalo. Just driving up north, just 2 hours north, and you're in Toronto, and same thing, vice versa, you're in Buffalo. That's a pretty good series. We got Arizona leading the Oilers. The Arizona Coyotes look to be heading to the Western Conference Finals. Are they going to do it? Let's find out. And they do. We will be taking on the Arizona Coyotes, boys. Good Lord. I was not expecting something like that. Oh, man. And Toronto has taken the lead on Buffalo, and Columbus has taken the lead on Philadelphia. This is a pretty interesting playoffs, boys. This is some new teams that we're not used to seeing. And Buffalo forces a game number 7 while Columbus punches their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. Toronto was last year's Stanley Cup champions. 2 years ago, it was the Buffalo Sabres. And 3 years ago, it was the Edmonton... I think I got that right? Right? I can't check now, can I? Damn. I'm pretty sure Edmonton won in year 1, Buffalo in year 2, and in year 3, it was Toronto. Now in year 4, who will it be? Will it be the Arizona Coyotes? All these young bottom feeders that got these young good teams for so many years, will they win? If not, if we have something to say about it. All right, this is the pivotal moment, boys. Will it be Buffalo Columbus or will it be Toronto Columbus? The current round of the playoffs is over, and it is Buffalo Columbus. They fight back from a 3-2 deficit and eliminate the Toronto Maple Leafs, and there it is, your final 4 teams in the respective conference finals. It is Nashville against Arizona, a matchup that I would never have thought, and Columbus versus Buffalo, another matchup I would never have thought. A ton of small markets here, boys. Gary Bettman he's having a heart attack right now, but I love it. I love to see some new faces, not dominated by these dynasties, but there it is, boys. We have advanced back to the Western Conference Finals for back-to-back years. Let's see if we can finally make that one last hurdle that's eluded us for this entire GM mode and go ahead and get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then who knows what'll happen. But it's something, based on the way these playoffs have been simulating, Arizona seems to be a tough team, boys. But I will see you in the next one when we take on the Arizona Coyotes. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see some more. Thanks so much for watching, and let's get into the Western Conference Finals.